watching a video tutorial on how I made this crochet top. I made this bralette using a 5mm hook and yarn from the brand Lion brand that is weighted 4. But like I always say, you don't always have to use a size 5mm hook or the same size yarn that I have. It's totally up to you. So the first thing you do is make a slip knot, and through that slip knot put your hook through and make a chain of 7. What we're doing right now is making the cups, and if you don't already know how to make a cup, I'm actually going to speed through this in this video because I actually have a whole video dedicated to how to make crochet cups. So you can go ahead and pause this video and watch that other video, which I will link in the description box below. And once you have mastered how to make a cup, you can just come back to this video and make the rest of the bralette. So again, I'm just going to speed through this. Basically all I did was chain 7, then go back on that chain using a single crochet. Once I reached the first end, I chained 1, went into the very first stitch at the end, then I single crocheted my way back. Then I flipped it so that I'm working vertically now. I'm going to be working from this side up and down to this side. So now I am at the point, and every time I reach the point, I'm going to single crochet 3 single crochets into that one stitch. So make sure that you know that the stitch you're going to make the 3 single crochets in is in the middle, and that's going to be the pointy part of your cup. And then just single crochet your way down to the end, and once you reach the end, you are going to chain 1. Hold on. Okay, the end. You're going to chain 1, flip it over, go back into the very first stitch, then single crochet your way back to the top. And once you've reached the top, you're going to again pick that middle stitch and then single crochet 3 into that one stitch, and then just single crochet your way down to the end, chain 1, go back up, and repeat the process. So you're just going to start from here, go down, go back up, go down. So every time you reach the top, you're going to single crochet 3. Every time you reach the side, you're going to chain 1, go over here, down, then go back up, go back down, and you're just going to continue with this pattern until your cup is big enough for you to wear and it covers everything and you're happy with the size. And when you are, that means that you need to grab a pair of scissors and cut off the yarn from the yarn ball, but do not seal it off just yet. Take your hook out from the last loop and just leave it and make your second cup. And once you've made your second cup, you're going to grab your second cup and put your hook through that last loop and through the loop of your first cup's last loop, if that makes sense. Grab the excess yarn from the first cup and the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball and bring it through with a slip stitch, and that's how you attach the 2 cups. And once they're attached, I slip stitch my way across one of the cups so I could reach the end. So I'm just going to find whatever space I can put my hook through and slip stitch my way across one cup. And once I reach the end of that one cup, I am going to chain 15 chains. And this chain is going to serve as the design bottom portion of the top. I chose to do 15 chains because that is enough chains to cover just the sides of my body and not my back, but you could just try it on and see how much you want to cover. So after you've done your X number of chains, you're going to go back on it using single crochet, and once you reach the cup again, you're actually going to single crochet across that cup and across the second cup, all the way to the other side. And once you're at the other side, you're going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to do my 15 chains and then go back on those chains using a single crochet. And after I have done my single crochets across those chains only, I am going to flip it over and slip stitch my way back onto those same chains. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want both sides to be relatively even, and I need to start at the end before I start my design. I hope that makes sense. It's really hard to explain, but basically the second side chain that you make, you're going to go back on it using a slip stitch. And then once you reach the end, that's when we're going to start doing the design. Alright, so I already went back on it using a slip stitch, and now you can see that it is relatively even. If I were to go back all the way across using a single crochet, it would not have been even. One side would have been bigger than the other. So anyway, what I am doing now, which is unfortunately being cut off, I'm sorry about that, is a double crochet with a chain in the beginning. I originally thought it was called a triple crochet, but somebody told me that it's just a double crochet with an extra chain in the beginning. So I'm going to show you, hopefully it didn't get cut off. So I chain one, I skip a stitch, I yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull that through the stitch, chain one, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 more loops, chain one, skip a stitch, yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over again, pull through, chain one, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through the last 2 loops, and I start all over again. You can keep watching the video over and over to understand what I have done. So after I went all across the bralette, I am finally at the end, and there's not enough space to make another stitch that I just made. So all I did was single crochet, and then I chained one, flipped it over, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a row of single crochet. So I'm going to go into all of the stitches and go across the entire bralette again, but this time using only single crochet. And once I reach the end, it looks something like this. I just wanted to add some extra depth before I made my second row of the what I call triple crochet, but apparently it's double crochet with a chain. So anyway, chain one, yarn over, skip a stitch, go through the stitch, yarn over, back through the stitch, chain one, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through the last 2 loops, and then you chain one, you skip a stitch, and do that all across the bralette once again, and it should look something like this. So once I was done with the bottom design of the bralette, I single crocheted my way on to the side of the design of the bralette, and this part is really tricky to explain. Basically, I used single crochet, but I didn't go into all the stitches I should have. I was skipping stitches randomly so that the rows would get smaller and smaller and form a point, and the reason I did that was because I want to make the straps here and I want it to look more triangular. See how I somehow made a little triangle out of skipping all those stitches? So the once square side turned into triangle, and now I'm just going to continue by chaining about 50 chains, and this is going to be my back strap. And once I have chained 50 chains, I went back on it using a slip stitch just to make it thicker and easier to tie. And once I reached the end of that chain, all I did was slip stitch my way back up the top so I can make the neck straps. So from here, I'm going to single crochet across here, up the cup, and make a strap right here. I made the neck strap the same way that I made the back strap. I made a chain and then I went back on that chain using a slip stitch, and once I was done and I went back on that chain and I was at the top of the cup again, I did some double crochets in the middle portion of these cups. So again, I came back from doing the slip stitch on the chain. Then I continued down the cup using double crochets. A double crochet, if you do not remember, is a yarn over through the stitch, yarn over again, back through the stitch, yarn over through 2 loops, and yarn over through the last 2 loops. The only difference between what I was doing before and the double crochet is that what I was doing before, I would do a chain in the beginning and then I would go through the 2 loops, but for this one there's no chain in the beginning. It's just yarn over through the stitch, yarn over again, back through the stitch, yarn over through 2 loops, and yarn over through the last 2 loops. So once you go down this side and go up the other side, you're going to make yet another neck strap the exact same way that we made all the other straps. Just go ahead and chain as many chains as you would like for the strap, and then go back on it using a slip stitch. Okay, so quick recap. After we were done doing the design at the bottom, we made the chain, then went back up using a slip stitch, made the neck strap, went down using a double crochet, made the second neck strap, and now you're going to go down using a slip stitch and make the last back strap, or the second back strap, and you're going to go down from where you were using a slip stitch. And then we're going to do that weird thing that I did, which I basically just single crocheted in a bunch of random spots, skipping around so that the square-like shape turned into a triangle now. And once it was a triangle shape, I just chained, what did I say I chained? Like 50, I think? Around 50 chains. Then I went back on that chain with a slip stitch, and I was done with the top because that was the very last strap that I needed to make. And if you're unfamiliar with how to seal off the last stitch, what you have to do is cut off the yarn from the yarn ball, then bring that excess yarn through the last loop and give it a tug. And after that, you are officially done with the bralette. Congratulations! I hope you had lots of fun making this bralette. Or if you just enjoyed the video in general but would like to learn how to crochet, I will link my Crocheting for Beginners video in the description box below, along with the video on how to make crochet cups, and some other links to my social media sites and my online store if you're interested in just purchasing these tops. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye!